How you doing? We made it to 1 year on the channel. I can't believe I even made it a year doing this whole YouTube thing. I never thought I would be so consistent and to make it just over a year. I think my first video on the channel was about December 5th or something like so. It's just a little over a year since I've had this channel, and man, I've seen a lot of good growth on this channel. I've been so excited to what I've been doing. I'm so excited to where I'm going to be going, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm kind of going to reflect on where this channel has gone and how it started and how it's been and then where it's going, because I think this will probably be something I'll do every year for as long as I do this YouTube channel. I don't know how long I'll do this, but I'm sure I'll do it for a while because I've been doing a lot of fun stuff. It's stuff I've been excited about. And just so you know, I'm going full stream of consciousness into the mic here. I don't even really have a script prepared for anything, so I just want to casually just talk about how it's been going and how I've made it a year. It's been super fun to be able to do this. So let's start at the beginning. How did I start this channel? How did this all come about? Well, if you didn't know, I actually started a podcast a while back. I think I started it back in the summer of 2022, and it was actually called the QuickSwitch Podcast, and which is why you probably saw this channel originally as the QuickSwitch YouTube channel. It's supposed to be an offshoot of the podcast I was doing. So that podcast was essentially supposed to be me talking about Nintendo Switch news, just Nintendo news in general. It was 15 minutes or less was the tagline, to kind of shorten the length and kind of give people bite-sized bits of information from news, releases, and sales. That was kind of my three main segments, and I had a lot of fun doing that. It was a lot of fun just researching a bunch of different topics. It really helped me tap into the gaming industry, specifically from the Nintendo side, and it was a lot of fun doing that. And around like the end, I guess going into December of 2022, I started, well, actually before that, let me back up. Let me back up. While I was doing the podcast, I realized that I wanted to start getting into reviews, and I didn't want to review any of the bigger games. For one, I didn't have the money to do so because I have very much a life outside of this, and my life I can't afford to be paying $60 or $70 for the big AAA budget titles. So what I did is I decided to just find indie games on the eShop that looked interesting to me. And so I decided, hey, I'll just pick a few indie games and start playing them to completion, and then write a review on them just to see where I went. And I did a few of those. In fact, I think maybe about 4 of them are just audio only, and maybe I'll put some of those up at some point. But my very first YouTube review was on A Short Hike, which I think was on December 5th. Like I said, again, you'll probably see stuff put up on the screen in front of me or behind me or whatever, however I'm going to do this, probably similar to how I do my dev interviews. But that's how I started. I started doing reviews and doing audio only, and then eventually started moving into the more video part of that along with my audio as well. And so that was a lot of fun. I started doing that, and Short Hike was my first review on my YouTube channel, on the QuickSwitch YouTube channel. So that was supposed to be an extension of the QuickSwitch podcast. So I was kind of building out some sort of brand with QuickSwitch, where I'd have the podcast, which would go out. Just hit my mic. What am I doing? I would have the podcast that would go out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then I would have a review just like a couple times a month. And so kind of like something consistent for listeners and viewers who were tuning into what I was doing, to have some sort of schedule with the content I was putting out. And so that was fun. But then I realized I started really enjoying the YouTube side of things, of the editing process of recording footage, getting footage up, recording the audio side of it, and then recording the video side of it, and then just uploading it to YouTube. So in conjunction with the podcast, it kind of increased a lot of my workload. And then around that same time, I got a gaming PC to be able to record better parts of footage and record things like this, because I'm using OBS right now. So I've got that going on. And so I got a gaming PC and I started doing that. And then what I wanted to do is transition into putting my podcast on the YouTube channel in a video format and upload that onto Spotify, Apple Podcasts, various like pretty much every podcast platform that you could think of where my podcast it was and still is. It still is available. I just don't do anything with it anymore. And so I decided to start doing videos on the YouTube channel, and then I realized that my schedule changed in my real life and I wasn't able to put out a consistent podcast in that format. And then I realized, man, I don't really want to go back to just the audio only side of it, because I think that would be just a huge shift. And maybe that was a little bit of my pride saying that I could stick it out. I could do it. I can make it happen. And it just wasn't sustainable for me at that point. And then I just started really getting into, again, the YouTube side of things, where I started doing full LPs. In fact, the first LP I did on the channel was Shaolin Legends Sacred Land. So I did a full LP of that, and then I did Flamekeeper, and I was planning on doing some other LPs, but I'll get into that in just a second. I'll get into that in just a little bit. So I started doing full LPs in addition to the podcast, in addition to reviews, and that kind of increased a lot of what I was doing. And I realized I wasn't as excited about doing the podcast anymore because I was getting more into the review and the LP process. I kind of dropped the podcast, and I realized that people who do the podcast format were a lot better at doing that on the YouTube side than I was. Maybe I should have stuck with just the audio only. Maybe I'd still be doing it if it was just audio only, but I just realized I was getting more excited about indie games and getting excited about what I was doing there. So I decided to just drop the whole podcast just entirely, just to make way for my reviews and also LPs. So the podcast is still available. I didn't delete it or anything. It's still available. I think I'm at I made it to episode 98. I should have just went to 100. I don't know why. It's still available. I'll probably put a link in the description of this video so you can check it out for yourself and see what I was doing at that point. So that's where I started, and that's why the YouTube channel initially was called QuickSwitch. And the reason why it was called QuickSwitch, I didn't even tell you why the name was called QuickSwitch, is quick quick segments of videos from the Switch side, because I just own a Nintendo Switch. That's my main platform, my main console of choice. And so I just decided to do that, because you work with what you have, and that's what I had at the time. I just had a Switch, and so that's where the name came about. In order to kind of stick with that branding, I tried to stay within the bounds of the Nintendo Switch area. And so I tried to do things early on in the YouTube channel. I say early on like I've been around for 5 years. It's only been a year, but I say like the first half of this year, and even going into earlier, just within the last few months or so, I tried to stay within the bounds of things like the Nintendo Switch, tried to stay within Nintendo stuff, trying to more focus on things indie and Nintendo wise. I've done a few videos on some Nintendo products. I did a video on Metroid Fusion, I did a video on Pikmin 4, and I think that's all. And then I think I did a few videos on more of the first party Nintendo stuff, but most of my content have been indie games from the Nintendo Switch. And so that was kind of going to be my transition point. I still was going to be called QuickSwitch, but just more focused on the indie side of things on the Nintendo Switch, which is why you see videos right now of cool indie games that I found on the Nintendo Switch, which is a series I'm going to still continue going into 2024, because I think that's fun, and it's also easier for me to just curate things on the Switch, because that's kind of what I've been enjoying doing. So I'll just stick with that. But as I continued on in this, I realized that I enjoyed a lot of PC games, because I had a gaming PC and I got a Steam account, and I decided to play more indie games on Steam. But then I realized I didn't want to mess up what I was already doing with QuickSwitch. So I was like, okay, I'll just hold off on the PC side of things and just focus on Switch. But then I kept getting more excited about the PC side of things. So I decided that, hey, maybe I want to do more of this. But the QuickSwitch thing, I don't know. There was a weird battle between I don't want to mess up what I was doing. I don't know what my thought process was. And also on social media, my name is Basic Fun. I don't think I've ever said that online. I mean, after every video I say my name is Chike, which is my real name. That's what my name is. But on social media like Twitter or X or Threads, Instagram, and everywhere else, my name is Basic Fun. That's my username. And so people who know me from social media call me Basic or Basic Fun, especially in Discord. I'm in the Lucid Discord community, and people call me that on Discord. But then when they go to my YouTube channel, it was called QuickSwitch. So you can see the confusion that people would have going to my YouTube channel called one thing and then trying to follow me somewhere else. So I decided last month and a half ago, that I was just going to rebrand my channel as Basic Fun, which is what you see now, which is why it's called Basic Fun. So a lot of my videos are still labeled as QuickSwitch, but the videos I've been putting out, I guess since early November, have been with Basic Fun in the intros and outros and even the branding of everything I have going on. So Basic Fun everywhere to kind of keep it consistent with everything on YouTube and social media as well. So that's why I have Basic Fun. So that's kind of the history of where I started. So podcast to YouTube and just staying on YouTube. And so that's where I'm at. And it's been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying a lot of the things I've been doing. So let me talk about what's been going on. And if you've been subscribed to me for a while, kind of the trajectory that I've been going on. So I've been doing a lot of reviews. I've been doing a lot of cool indie game reviews. That's been kind of one of my favorite things to do. I've been enjoying finding a lot of cool indie games and then been playing them over and talking about them and having my thoughts, writing down my thoughts for them and then putting them up and just see what other people think about it. As you know, if you've seen my videos, Sea of Stars was a big impact on me. It's probably it is my game of the year, and I'm so glad it got one indie game of the year. So I've been excited to make a lot of Sea of Stars content and being able to write my thoughts down from a spoiler-free and a spoiler-filled section. And I'd never done that before, and I'm excited that I was able to do that and able to actually have some coherent thoughts. And so I think as I've been going on with a lot of these reviews and a lot of these essay type of videos, I've found a love for sharing my thoughts and my passion for indie games and just gaming in general. Because if you've watched my why I like Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak video, I talk a lot about how that game kind of inspired me to get back into gaming. In fact, that game has actually had a huge influence on why I started the podcast and why I started this YouTube channel. So go watch that video if you haven't done so already to kind of get my full thoughts on why that game was so influential on me. It's weird to think that Monster Hunter Rise helped me get into indie games and doing indie game reviews and doing dev interviews. It's weird for me to say. It's weird to say that. It's like, I don't know how you would see the through line between that, but it makes sense for me because I think people always have that one game that inspires them to just go off and do something. Every dev has that one game that has influenced them to make the game that they played as a kid. I mean, I go back to Eric who's making Lucid, and it's a love letter to all the games that he grew up playing, like Mega Man and Donkey Kong and Zelda and all those things and all of the fun games that he's been playing. You can see the influences that gaming has had on his life to make the game that he's making right now. So, and you can see that with a lot of devs. It's kind of the same story where they're influenced by a lot of the games of their childhood and then going into their formative years, and now they're making the games that they grew up playing and making their own stories and putting in their own creative processes in that. So I've been excited to do that. I'm excited to share my thoughts in the games that I've been playing, even though I'm creating content, but I'm not creating a game. I'm just sharing my thoughts on games I've been playing. I've been so excited. I've been pumped to do that. It's been a lot of fun. It's a tough process to write and record. I've heard a lot from content creators over the years that scripting, recording, editing is a large process, and I feel that. I definitely feel that. now that I have been doing it for over a year now. And man, it's a tough process, but it's a fun process when the product is actually finished and it's been put out. So reviews has been fun. The 5 indie games that I have found interesting this month have been a lot of fun as well. It's been kind of a good curation of the games I've been excited to play. So I'm glad that people have been watching that. People have been commenting what games that they've been excited to play. It's been a lot of fun. I'm thinking about all the things that I've been doing. It's been a lot of fun. And one of my most exciting things that I've been doing is the dev interviews. You've seen those. I did that with Eric twice. I did it with VCD. I did it with Jerome. I did it with Dryden. I did one with Joe. And then hopefully I'll have more going into the future. It's been incredible that these people have reached out to me and said yes to me asking them to interview them for the games that they have been making. And a lot of them have come out of the Lucid Discord community. So it's been great. And I love sharing people's stories, hearing people's stories and of how they started and where they're going and how they make their game and actually playing their game and showing you what their game looks like and and understand their creative process and help push them into the stratosphere in terms of like their Kickstarters and their visibility and all that, and just help build this community of developers that have a passion for gaming and have a passion for what they do and have a passion to share their love and their creativity with you, the viewer, with us, the gamers that want to enjoy good and fun games. And that's the beauty of indie games. That's the beauty that I have been discovering with indie games as of late. And of course, there's beauty in a lot of the AAA games. If you look at Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year, and a lot of people have been enjoying that. Spider-Man 2 was great. What else? Mario Wonder was great, and Tears of the Kingdom was also great. But I think what I personally love about indie games, and you'll hear that in my Sea of Stars videos, that there's a love and a passion that these indie developers have when they're smaller, when they don't have a lot of larger budgets, and when they're kind of constrained by budgets and the amount of people. There's something about the beauty of restriction that breeds creativity. I think there's a specific quote about that. It's escaping me now, but you understand what I'm talking about when you have not a big budget and not a whole lot of people. It just kind of squeezes out. It's like this pressure of coal becoming a diamond. So it's kind of similar to that, and I've been seeing a lot of cool diamonds. Sea of Stars definitely that diamond. I loved Worldless and In Stars in Time. In fact, a video I'm gonna put out later. What do I do? I keep going like this. What am I doing? I'm pointing this way. I have a video that will be coming out at some point about my top 10 favorite games, and a lot of the games that you've seen on this channel are gonna be on that list. There are some that I have been playing that I haven't really talked about yet on this channel that I'm including on that list. But if you watch my videos, you know what will be some of my top favorite games this year. So I've been enjoying that. But going back to the dev interviews, it's been so fun to do that and to talk to them and to actually edit the videos the way that I've been edited. That's actually my longest editing videos because they just take so long to compile the footage to be able to show you when I'm showing like the various gameplay images and all of the segments that we talk about, and also just include the background and all of that. It's been a lot of fun, but they're my most heavily edited videos and it takes so long to make, but it's exciting to do. So yeah, dev interviews, reviews, even like the one-off LPs, like I think Cyber Paradise was the one I did most recently, where a lot of people viewed that and that's been exciting. So I love being able to showcase people's games in kind of a one-off format, kind of an LP, so not any full LPs. And again, like I said, I'll talk about that in just a moment. And so just showing people's games off in kind of a more shorter long play section where you can see actual gameplay for yourself. And I definitely will do that when Lucid drops and when more games drop. In fact, there's a lot of games that I backed on Kickstarter that I haven't really talked about, but they're going to come out sometime next year, and I'll be able to show those off eventually. So there's a lot of fun things that are gonna come out in the next year, and I'm so pumped to be able to actually show them off and to show show you why these games need the love and attention that they so rightfully deserved. And a lot of these games were successful, massively successful on Kickstarter. Not just Lucid and Kobu the Tree Spirit, but there's a lot of games that you've probably seen, like Mariachi Legends and Rune Fencer Illyria that I backed as well. And so excited to play those games and to show you what those games are about if you don't know what those games are. So yeah, I guess that's a good transition into what's gonna happen with this channel in the future. And honestly, not a whole lot is going to change. It's gonna be kind of the same thing that you've been seeing over this year. I'm still gonna do indie game reviews. I'm still gonna do some dev interviews. I'm still gonna put out my 5 indie games that I found interesting on the Switch every single month. But now I'll have an entire full year to do it, from January to December. So that'll be awesome as well. And then more dev interviews and some more one-offs. So yeah, kind of be the same, but with other games that I have backed and other games that I want to play that I find interesting. So I haven't done a full research as to what's coming down the pipe in terms of what 2024 looks like, but of course, there's going to be a lot of fun games. This year was crazy, as we all know. If you've been tapped into the gaming industry or just gaming in general for a while, I think this year is probably one of the craziest years I've seen in gaming. And maybe that's just because I've been plugged in, actually plugged in for over a year. I mean, I've been a casual gamer for pretty much my entire life, but I've been kind of tapped in just doing this whole YouTube thing. So I don't know if it's been this crazy, and maybe it has been. I don't know if it has been, but let me know in the comments. Let me know if this year has been really one of the craziest years in a while, in like the last decade or so, or maybe it's kind of been like there's been a trend of this for a while. But I would love to know. But I feel like this year has been particularly just crazy, with a lot of big budget releases, a lot of crazy good indies, and so it's just a really good year for gaming. I think going into next year, it's going to be a lot of fun things to do, and a lot of fun things to talk about, a lot of fun things to play. So what does that mean for me? Nothing's going to change really. So you're going to see a lot of the same content and hopefully kind of elevate some of the things that I've been doing. So I want to learn, I want to grow, I want to know how I can get better at this. So hopefully I'll get better over time with how I script things, how I edit things, and how I just do things in general. And I think that's just the beauty of creating. You learn as you grow. You learn things. Not everyone starts off as perfect. Not everyone starts off as like the biggest content creator in the world. Not everyone starts off as a great game developer. You fail repeatedly, you fail upwards. I mean, that's the only way you can go. You fail upwards, and you learn as you go. You learn lessons along the way. So I'm learning a lot of lessons on the way, and excited to see what next year holds. 2 things I don't know about going into 2024. Those 2 things are LPs, so long plays, like full LPs of games. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I may try to. I think the only thing that I have problem with is my own personal schedule. The problem with me is that I have a lot of things that I do outside of this, and I cannot devote the time that I really need to do a full LP. I tried to do that with Shauna Ledger's Sacred Lands and then Flamekeeper, and I did those as best as I could, but I felt like I was rushed to just get things out and get episodes out in time, and I felt like the times I was recording these episodes, it just wasn't my best. Maybe it was the games I chose, and maybe choosing a Zelda-like game or choosing more of what's the genre of Flamekeeper? I don't even remember. I think it was some sort of I think it was like a roguelike. I don't know. I'll have to find out. But in any case, you'll probably see it. You'll probably see it posted up. But in any case, I don't know if I'll do full LPs. And maybe if there's a game that's a little bit shorter, I'll maybe do a full LP of that. But don't count on me doing full LPs. We'll see. I don't know. I don't bet the horse. Don't bet the horse. What am I saying? I don't know if I'll do full LPs. And another thing I'm gonna do, I don't know about, is streaming. I did one stream, and it was very, very late at night. It's still available on the channel, and even that stream wasn't really that good. The frame rate of the games I was playing was awful because I didn't really optimize my stream settings, and I should have just tested it better and then tried it again. And so I think now, after testing it multiple times, I think I could do better streams, but I don't know if streaming will be in my future, because I think with streaming, you kind of have to be consistent. You have to be consistent in streaming. So I don't know if streaming will be in my future. And if it is, I'll let you know. And if I do stream, it'll probably be late at night because, again, I have a life outside of this. I have responsibilities. And streaming, it takes up a lot of time. And I don't want to eat into my own personal life just for streaming to try to make that work. So I don't know if streaming will be a thing for me. And if it is, I'll let you know, and we'll just see. We'll see where this channel goes. We'll see if streaming will be for me. And if I do stream, it will actually be on YouTube. I don't think I'll do Twitch. I have a Twitch account, but I feel like just to keep everything consistent, at least for me personally, because I know people stream on Twitch and then they post the VODs on YouTube. But for me personally, I think with how YouTube is with streaming, I think it's gotten better. I think the landscape of streaming for YouTube is better. So has gotten better. It's not like it's better than Twitch. I don't know. People can make the comparison between YouTube and Twitch and Kick. I don't know. But I think for me personally, I will probably stick to just streaming on YouTube to just I will keep everything in one place just to keep everything in a nice, just organized type box, just to kind of help my organization type. Because if I'm trying to manage YouTube and Twitch and other things of that nature, it's hard to even manage like social media and YouTube at the same time. So I just want to keep everything consistent and not overwhelm myself and trying to prevent any kind of burnout on myself. So I think that's probably the best way to keep that in the pocket for me. So yeah, LPs and streaming, I don't know where those will fit into 2024, but if they do, we'll see. We'll see where it goes, but we'll see what happens. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll see what happens. But you'll still get reviews, LPs, dev interviews, more things coming down the pipe. Just shorter videos, like one-off videos, not like full LPs, but shorter in comparison, like 30 to 45 minute videos of me just doing gameplay of games that I found interesting. So look forward to that. But yeah, man, I really appreciate all of you watching this video right now for just watching. I really do appreciate it. It really is. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how this channel was going to take off at some point. And I've gone from, I hit 100 subscribers and then I hit 150 and now I think I'm in like 160, 165. I don't know. There are drops in the bucket, but I think it's important, especially when you're first starting out, to celebrate any success at all, any minor successes, to kind of say like, hey, it's actually happening. People are actually watching my videos and commenting and liking and actually sharing those with other people. And I've gotten a lot of good feedback on the videos that I've been making. And so I appreciate every single view, every single like, every single comment that has hit every one of my videos. And I try to respond to each one of them. And if I ever get to a point where I'm just insanely huge, I don't know, who knows where this will go, I'll try my best to respond to comments, but I don't know how other big content creators who have like 1 million+ subscribers respond to people's comments. I don't know if they even do, but I don't know. But I do appreciate all of you who are watching this video, who have watched my video so far, that have commented and made it's just good. It's more than just a dopamine hit for me. It's kind of a good validation of like, okay, things are working. Somehow I'm doing something right. I've had multiple videos that have had over 1K views. Again, small victories are there. And so it's been great to see that kind of happen. And I never know what a video will do when I put it out. I don't know. It may get no views. It may get 1,000 views. I don't know. And maybe one day a video will hit a big number. I don't know. Who knows? And they say it only takes one video, and I don't know. But they say consistency breeds success. So I want to continue to be consistent in the uploads that I've been doing. You'll probably get maybe 1, 2, 3 videos a week, depending on my schedule. So I don't know. We'll see. But the point remains is that I want to be consistent in doing this thing and making sure that you know that I'm still here and that you get some sort of content from me. So I do appreciate that. I do appreciate everything that you guys have been doing. Excited for 2024. Yeah. More videos coming out. Like I said, I have my end of the year, like my favorite games that I've been playing throughout the year. It's been a lot of fun trying to find this list. It's way more. I've been playing a lot of games this year. It's been a lot of fun doing that. And thank you so much. I really, honestly, I really do appreciate that. Yeah, where can you find me? Where can you find me on social media? That's all kind of in this, and kind of how you can support the channel. So where can you find me? I do technically exist on X or Twitter, but I don't really use it anymore. I kind of stopped being active on Twitter just because I don't feel like it's Twitter's kind of a cesspool, and I don't really need that in my life. I'm kind of reduced the amount of social media apps I even have on my phone anyway. So Twitter's there, but you won't really see me on Twitter. It's around if I need to find something, but you won't really, if you want to find me, if you want to interact with me, it won't be through Twitter. Where you can actually find me is on Threads and Instagram. Dryden, if you're watching this, you kind of inspired me to get more active on Threads, and so that's what I've been doing for the past, I don't know, month and a half or so. So Threads and Instagram is where I am at. So if you want to follow me there, if you want to find me there, it's at Basic Fun. So Basic Fun everywhere. Like I said from the beginning, you can find me on Threads and Instagram. Also, something that I have always put in the description of a lot of my videos, but I don't really advertise this, is that I have a coffee, or is it Ko-Fi? Is it Ko-Fi? I think I've heard it pronounced coffee, but I have a coffee account, and I kind of just put that up there as more of a virtual tip jar. So if you enjoy the content that I have been doing, I mean, you can leave a tip. I'm not really asking for money. I don't really need it, but if you would like to leave a tip, that's awesome. I kind of formulate that like a musician. I'm a musician by trade. I work in IT as well. So as a musician, if people want to tip you while you're playing and while you're performing, they have every right to do so, but they don't need to. If I'm a gig as a musician, I'm already getting paid for the gig. And if people want to tip, that's of their own volition, and I don't expect people to tip. But it is there for you if you would like to support me or do anything. If you want to just leave me a tip, if you just want to buy me a coffee, if you're just like, hey, thanks for the cool content, here's a few bucks. I don't know. Help me buy coffee so I can do my full LPs and maybe stream. Or help me buy a Steam Deck. How about that? I'm just kidding. I don't know, but it is there if you want it. So I don't. It's there. I don't really. It doesn't really matter as much, but it is around. So if you want to support the channel that way, that'd be great. If you want to follow me on Threads and Instagram, it's great. Subscribe to the channel, of course. Smash the like button and share this with as many people as you seem necessary to do so, to just put me out there in the algorithm. So yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks for helping me make it to 1 year on the channel. My name is Chike, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.